Thank you very much.
Ain't no denying the fact that they're lying and trying to sell it as truth. With such precision, they made a decision to poison the minds of the youth. Shit that you're seeing for all human beings, the media worshiping snakes.
What's up? You know what this is, and you know why we're here. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, The Texas Silver Rush, Chain Reaction Records, and Skateboards, and Your Core Hardcore fan page. Greetings to everyone around the world. I am glad you're here. I'm glad you're a part of this worldwide hardcore community, and I mean that. What's happening? What's up, Ronnie? How you doing, bro? Can't wait. Ronnie Wheeler, sound man of the A7. Can't wait to get back in that room, bro. Big A7 reveal today. Big announcement at halftime. Christopher Hoffman, what's up, brother? Yeah, I'm ready for a good one today. I got a good feeling about today's show. I do. I really do. What's happening in Bremen, Germany, Adrian, my man? Bremen, Germany, my kind of town. Love it. Party people. Party people, it's the place to be. I go to Bremen University. I've been on many stages, held many mics, took airplane flights. Suckers on my jock when I walk down the block. I really don't care if you like it or not. Yo, Ryan Bland, what's happening, brother? Miss you, man. Really, really miss you. Miss everybody. What's up with all our friends in Germany checking in? Good. Specken Sie Deutsch over there? What's happening in the fatherland? Montreal. How's the weather up in Montreal, Curtis? I'm down in Florida right now. That's that, you know. Right. What's up, Darren? What do you say, bro? Thanks for tuning in. Just real quick, I want to remind you of the next 4 shows. I want to remind you. Yo! Is that another Bad Brain song? You? Yo! Oh, shit. Oh, I'm in a t-shirt. Wow. Nuremberg in the house. Yo, what's happening, Big Bry? Indianapolis. Sorry about that loss, bro. I guess the Bills had their first playoff win in 300 years at your expense. What's up in Italy, man? I hope you're keeping my girls in line over in Bologna, bro. Seriously, man. Them Italian girls, man. Better stop it. Yeah. Here you go. All right. Enough silliness. Let's talk about the shows that are coming up. Starting with this Wednesday, January 17th. Is that January 7th? January 13th, excuse me. Old school NYHC OG Kevin Crowley from The Abused. He is also the creator of the New York Hardcore Symbol. Next up after that, a week from today, Scotty Vogel from Terror. Then Sean Taggart, Artist. And then, of course, our old friend, Mr. Igor Cavalera. So a lot of great shows coming up. By the way, I can't tell you about I got to do the big reveal first before I tell you about what's next. That said, I'm ready, you're ready, we're ready. Let's go out to Long Island. What's happening? Yes, it's going to be Keeler. Is that right? Italy interfered with the USA election. Facts. Are you really, Ratbones, are you really talking politics on the show? Man, we got to stay away from If there's one thing I learned, you know what? How's this sound? I don't give a fuck about politics. And I can't stand politicians. And you know what? We're here to talk about music. I don't even want to think about that crap. Makes me sick. Really, man. I mean, everybody, the left, the right, the this, the that. Oh, goddamn. Let's talk about music and what's up with the hardcore shutterbug, huh?
What's up? How's
Now that I
everybody
just
doing?
buried myself.
We're here to talk about good things, you know?
Good things. Hey,
Good
good
things.
things.
You know, I hear if you do good things,
Hey,
I hear they
good
come to you.
things.
You. But
You do good things.
I'll tell you the first thing I wanted to say on a sad note is that we lost Marsha Zazula,
Yeah.
which is very sad. If a lot of people don't realize that John and Marsha are a huge impact on heavy music with Megaforce Records, and I mean they poured their life savings into what the Kill 'Em All album.
Yeah.
You know, which so much history there, and really nice lady. I only met her a couple of times, and you know what? But just a sad loss, you know. And on a happy note, it's Mad Joe's birthday from Wisdom in Chains, you know. So wish him a happy birthday.
Yeah.
You know, so you know we're losing people, but
we got to get him on the show.
yes, that'd be great. Their last album was Keeler. That last Wisdom record was fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's some.
All
you know
right.
what? The good music is
rest in peace,
Yes.
Marsha Zazula, and you know they're living. You know, good for them.
Yep.
I mean, you know, there's always that thing about hey, why don't you move your head a little bit more because we're not getting enough rubbing noise. Could you please?
I'll put my hands up so you don't see the rubbing.
Listen, I'm gonna get a GoFundMe together to get you a mic that kind of like, Marsha Zazula pioneer. Yeah. You know, there's always that sort of bit about, you know, I did the film about Michael Alago, and you know, Michael Alago signed Metallica. Michael Alago signed Metallica to a major label. He signed them to Elektra. Metallica had 2 records out by the time he signed them on an independent label. Yeah. You know, and that was you know, John and Marsha's label,
Megaforce.
Megaforce, right? And and listen, everything could be bought at a price because it wasn't like Elektra decided to sign Metallica and they just said, "Here you go."
Right.
You know, those two have had a piece of the Metallica action, you know, since. You know, Alago signed them to Elektra. They re-released Ride the Lightning, and you know, good for them. God bless.
Yeah.
You know, Marsha and John, they had a piece of a Metallica. It's like a sunset clause. It's called.
Oh, that's cool. You know what? They well deserved. I mean, they flew them out like you know, on a wing and a prayer. Like who knew? You know.
Who knew?
Crazy.
All right, here we go. Yeah, good for them. That's what I'm saying. I'm just giving you a little perspective, you know. Yeah, they deserved it. They had the vision, man, with that band, and they got behind them. And hey, you know, I'm not gonna say, yeah, right. Owning a piece of Metallica is like getting some Bitcoin. All right.
I you know what? I trust Metallica more than I trust Bitcoin.
Anyway, I'm ready. You're ready. We're ready. It's time for the Hardcore Shutterbug
Day.
It is photo of the day. And wrong answers only, please. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, clank your chains and count your change. It is photo of the day. Boom. What the? What is it? Oh, this dude has, what does he got? A sword?
He's holding a sword.
He's holding a sword. Okay, wrong answers only. Let's hear it. Is it Jeff Skunk Baxter? Is it Disturbed? Come on, let's hear something funny with the sword. I mean, come on. Is it Steven Messina?
I got my sword in the other room.
Is it Kojak? Okay, good. Jerry Farley with a little humor. Thank you. Is it the Bouncing Swords? Okay, now we're getting that. Now we're catching, you know, we're sort of getting in a groove, okay?
How about Liquid Swords?
Is it Conan? Is it Conan? Is it, God, they're coming in fast. Is it Anton LaVey?
That would be a great guest.
Is it King Arthur? Is it Keith cause for alarm? Is it, this is a good one. Is it Conan at the rodeo? Good one. Good
Conan
one.
the Cowboy.
Is it Doug Holland? That's good. Is it Manowar? Is that the Manowar symbol? This
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Manowar, Manowar. Death to false metal.
We got one of these days. We'll get we should get Ross the Boss on.
Those dudes are, yeah, here, is it Manowar? Yep. Manowar, Manowar! The gates of Valhalla!
Hey, you know, Matt Gray rocks a good Manowar shirt once in a while.
Yo, Matt Gray loves Manowar. I've seen Manowar play, like, when I was out on the road working for Biohazard back in the day. They played some, like, what's that big festival in France? I don't know if it's Hellfest. I don't know, in France, I forgot. But Manowar was on the festival, and we were on the stage, and they did the whole nine with the motorcycles and everything. It was pretty great. All right. So here's you sent. There's another picture here too,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, there's a couple there. Yeah.
All right. Let's do. Here's photo of the day. Oh yeah. Okay. So these guys should definitely be in the band together, right? So here's another shot.
Oh, there you go.
Is it Angry Anderson from Rose Tattoo? Is it Drew? Is it Blue Man Group without the blue? Good one, Matt Polovin. Thank you. Is that right? Ross owns a batting cage in Brooklyn?
I think he does actually. Yeah.
Wow, that's kind of cool. I want to go to Ross the Boss's batting cage. Okay, it's time for right answers.
Right answers.
Okay, is it Mike Gibbons? Is it Slash? Is it The Rock? All right, here we go. Enough silliness. Is it? Oh, it's Queens. Sorry, Dominic. I didn't mean to insult you. You know. Is it? Here we go. Is it Armored Saint? Is it Armored Saint? Is it Armored Saint? Is it Spinal Tap? Is it John Bush? Is it? I just saw a good one. Is it Bruce Willis? Gary, CC Fly, what's up, bro? You win with that one. That's a good one. Is it Vin Diesel's new band? All right. Is it the ex-Anthrax singer?
There we go.
Okay, here's a good one. Is it Kevin Sorbo? Good one. What did Kevin Sorbo was Hercules, right?
I think he was Hercules, right?
All right, here we go. Let's tell us. Obviously, this is. Hold on. All right, tell us about this.
This is Armored Saint. You are correct. It's John Bush, who is still, in my opinion, he's my favorite Anthrax singer. As a matter of fact, I think that Sound of White Noise record they made should have been gigantic. But I got to see them. This picture was taken.
Hey, well, wait a second. That record that they did, that first Anthrax record, did pretty well. It wasn't a blockbuster.
No, but it should have been.
I think that record went gold and platinum. I think that record did well.
It went well, but it should have been like their Black album. That's what it really should have been. I think it's the best record they ever made, and they were just on fire at that point. But after reading Scott Ian's book, they got screwed around so much by their label that it was they did not get what they really should have gotten out of that.
Yeah,
but
it was a tough time. It was a tough time for those kind of bands,
Oh yeah, well, because it was right at the height of grunge and everything. Really,
take it easy on that mic, sweetheart.
But
Tootsels.
Back to Armored Saint now. This is Armored Saint, and
hey, pull the fucking thing out, will you?
What?
Pull the mic out. Don't use the mic.
Okay, hold on.
Sick of this shit.
Can you hear me?
Jesus Christ! When you're home, don't use the fucking the earbuds anymore, will you? Can you give us a break?
This is better.
Yeah, it's great. Go
So
ahead.
if I go like that, it doesn't affect you?
Jesus, Moses, Mother Mary, and Joseph. Thank you.
All right. Anyway.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, here. Upstate Rick. Jesus Christ, it sounds like a cat is jingling a ball in front of your microphone.
No, Daryl's asleep in the corner there.
Go ahead. Everybody, oh my God, Steven.
Anyway, this is Armored Saint. This is March of 2019. They were headlining the Up the Hammers Festival. This is Athens, Greece. That I was there with a band called Hitman, and they co-headlined with Armored Saint. And it was the first time Armored Saint played Greece in 17 years. And they destroyed the place. And they really sounded tremendous. Their last record, they have a new record I haven't really heard yet, but the previous one that they were touring was really, really good. And the Grecian fans went just absolutely crazy for them. This was like I said, Up the Hammers, Athens, Greece. And the funny part is that sword does not belong to them. There was a band on right before them called Eternal Champion.
That's the kind of band you'd see at a festival in Greece. Like, we're Eternal Champion.
Right, Eternal Champion. And that guy, actually the singer
The
in Eternal
gates of
Champion.
Valhalla!
The singer at Eternal Champion's job when he's not on the road is he's a blacksmith. He literally makes swords and things like that. And he brought the sword with him, and John Bush basically swiped it from the backstage and brought it out on stage with him. And but they were great. That was a great that whole festival was great. I was really lucky to go out there for that, and it was my first trip to Greece. And if we have any Greek fans out there, it was awesome. We had a great time.
All right. Listen, I have never seen Armored Saint, so that's sort of a little bit out of my wheelhouse. But I'd go see him. He's a good singer. I think
he's a really good singer.
Yeah, I can't front on him. So
do you know, the first time I saw Armored Saint was at Sundance, and it was Armored Saint, Halloween, and Grim Reaper.
Dude, I'd rather drink Drano than see that. So. I'd rather listen to you with the mic rubbing than see all that in one night. There you go. All right. Okay, it's been real. It's been fun. We had a couple laughs. What more could you ask for in this life?
You know what else?
Yeah.
This is what you can ask for.
Oh, the goat candle.
Now that I got your goat,
I want to have sex, not with you, but with strangely illuminated by the goat candle. You know. That said, hey, thanks, man. And,
thank you.
We'll see you in a little bit. We got a big reveal today, huh?
Yeah, I'm excited about this one.
Me too, bro. Me too. All right, I'll talk to you in a bit.
See you guys later.
See you later. What's happening, boys and girls? Yep, big A7 reveal at halftime today. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, sponsored by Organic Grill, Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, The Texas Silver Rush, Your Core, Fan Page, and New York Hardcore Comics. New York Hardcore opens back in 2013 when lifelong friends Debo the Pro and Lee Fairley combined their collections and obsessions for comic books, punk rock, toys and statues, Magic the Gathering, and all things horror. The store is located at 117 Main Street in lovely Dobbs Ferry, New York. If you want to support them during this pandemic, please contact them via email at newyorkhardcorecomics.com. Also, want to shout out our staunch supporters, Joe Ramini, Vinny Stigma's cousin, the Texas Silver Rush. It's a jewelry design firm and boutique store located at the birthplace of the Texas country music scene in Fredericksburg, Texas. They specialize in working with musicians in all music genres to design and create unique one-off pieces, as well as to style them for stage, album covers, promo photos, and social media exposure. Their client list includes Rock and Roll Hall of Famers Greg Rollet from Journey, Don't Stop Believing, Ringo Starr, You gotta pay your dues in an octopus's garden in the shade. He'd let us in, know where we've been. And of course, the mighty Agnostic Front. From the East Coast to the West Coast. During this current pandemic, all information and online sales are being taken at their Facebook and Instagram pages, and of course, www.thetexassilverrush.com. That said, let's make sure everybody's behaving themselves. Yeah, we're getting there, man. We're getting there. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, everybody seems to be behaving themselves. Here we go. Let's bring our guest on. Let's clear the deck. It's kind of a kooky day. It is Shout Out Sunday, everybody. So somebody has something to say. There you go. Boom. Here we go. Today's guest is a guitar player, songwriter, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. He's known for his work with the bands Lament, Fully, and M.O.D, but is best known for his work for over 30 years with the New York hardcore stalwarts Maximum Penalty. Please welcome, coming at us from Brooklyn, New York City Department of Sanitation, represent our friend, Mr. Joe Affie. What's up, bro?
What's up, Joe? Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on. I got a good feeling about this, Joe.
That was some intro. I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, everybody, all your Brooklyn people are like, bring on Joe Affie.
Yeah, I'm sure.
God. So let's jump right into it. What was happening for you when the zombie apocalypse hit? Did you have to cancel shows? How'd things change for you musically?
Well, everything just kind of grinded to a halt, like for everybody else in the world. Our last show was at A7 with you, and it was also kind of a send off for Eric. Right around the same time, Eric had moved out took his family out to Vegas. And right, like I guess a month after that, the city was on lockdown, and so everything up until today, I mean, it's been a standstill.
Yeah, I didn't realize until we were kind of doing the pregame that this was like the second to last show that we did at A7, and this show was a banger, man.
We had a great time. It was
it was great.
It was borderline out of control, which is always great. Yeah. But what a great time. The whole vibe of the day, everything from beginning to end, it was awesome.
Yeah, everybody's chiming in. It was a great show. We did one show after that, like 2 weeks later, and by then there was a lot of rumblings and like about the whole pandemic. It was just starting, there was, so I mean that show was good too, but this one, this show, yeah, Busky. This show was really something special. That's for sure. How did you come up? Where'd you grow up? Did you come up in a musical household?
I mean, not musical in terms of what you might think. I mean, my mother had me when she was really young, so she was very much into music. So whether I liked it or not, growing up, a lot of her records that came into the house, it really kind of started me up. I mean, anything from Joni Mitchell to Earth, Wind and Fire. This is the 70s in Brooklyn, if you can imagine what. But I guess it was like 8 or 9 years old, like anybody else. Here comes Kiss. And, that's really where I started. But the only musician in the house was my uncle. I had an uncle that was about 11 years older than me. And he was already playing bass in bands. And as soon as when I was old enough to kind of shake the Kiss coat, he literally was full force with Zeppelin, Sabbath, Purple right away.
What instrument did your uncle play?
He played bass. His name was Dara Dolan. He's completely responsible for me getting involved with music completely. Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's no longer with us, and I miss him every day. Great guy.
Wow. But he left a legacy.
Oh man, he forget it. If he's watching the things that I've seen and done, not that
Yeah.
I've done much, but he would be completely blown away.
Yeah, that's people live on, man. People live on through
Oh
all
yeah,
that,
absolutely.
you know.
I believe that. I absolutely believe that.
Yeah, and music is like that, man. You know, music is reverberates. You know.
Yeah, man.
Why guitar? What made you pick up guitar as opposed to bass, or why did you gravitate to guitar?
Okay, so he really wanted me to, I guess at some point, play covers with him. He was already playing in bars, and he had, he was playing the band shell in Prospect Park. So he found out a local guy, Leo Wick, a legendary guy on 9th Street here.
I love it. That's like a real Brooklyn Leo Wick.
Oh,
That's
dude,
like,
he's like an old school, like, guitar teacher.
yeah.
So we went to him and we both started playing guitar, and he, my uncle would go with me in hopes that I would like catch the bug. But I guess I kind of didn't then. I was really young. There was a lot going on, outside was everything, hanging out, stickball,
Yep.
running the streets. So it wasn't until a little later where I picked it back up.
What you gravitated? You were you were a metal guy, really, a metal teenager. I mean, you gravitated to heavy metal music, right? And you were into the metal thing. And let me if I understand this correctly, your mom had a salon on Fifth Avenue, and around the corner from Saab, from Marauder, his dad had a store.
Yeah.
Like because I'm looking here for the connection. How did Joe Affie, sort of teenage denim jacket metal dude, connect with the hardcore scene?
Okay, so this is early 80s. Everyone's I'm about maybe 13 years old. This is right before high school. His dad had owned a real estate storefront around the corner from my mother's shop down here in Park Slope. And of course, back then, everybody, when you're walking around with, your patches and your jacket, you got a lot of pride. It's you're part of something. So and back then, that neighborhood was not, there was very few people rocking anything metal, punk rock, or anything. It was a very rough neighborhood. I mean, if you weren't like, selling drugs or hustling shit, this is early 80s.
Yeah.
You were like, you were an outcast. So it really started then. And it just happened to be one day I was, running an errand for my mother. And here I am, decked out. And we kind of ran into each other, and we just started talking, saying, hey, I like this band. You like that band, blah, blah, blah. Just like any other, story. Yeah. Oof. That's in front of my mother's house. 86. Look at the hair, though. Look at that fucking hair.
Yeah, you're winning with that hair, bro.
Yeah, I miss that fucking kid, man.
Saab was a Brooklyn guy, man, like you.
Yes. We had a lot of fun together growing up. Went to a lot of shows in the beginning, even before either one of us were in bands.
Yeah.
We went to a lot of shows. Had a lot of fun.
It's interesting what you said, because we've discussed this many times on the show, is like back then. And listen, I'm sure, even for to a certain extent, for young kids today or places in the world today, but having grown up in New York City as well, like you'd see somebody with a vest or a button, and you would just sort of that would be like, wow, that'd be a big connection. And like, wow, dude's got,
Listen, it just didn't happen in the neighborhood. It would happen, in Manhattan. And I'm not talking about like venues or shows, but like when you'd walk into record stores, like, I don't know, anything. Manhattan, of course, when you walked into Only Rock and Roll, or out in Brooklyn, Zigzag.
Yeah.
Or if you walked out, even one place that people don't really realize was back in the day, Caesar's Bay Bazaar off the Bell Parkway.
Good one, bro.
That was
you go, Brooklyn.
You know what I'm saying? That was like, you ran into a lot of people. I can think off the top of my head, just running into people there that I'm still friends with today.
Yeah, and I know like Dominic who was on Headbang as well, who DJ'd at L'Amour's.
Yes.
Dominic had a little booth at Caesar's Bay Bazaar,
Yes,
at, like on Sundays, and like that was sort of a bit of a destination.
Yeah, there was a couple of guys with booths. It was a little bit of a gathering. You walked in with tapes, even though maybe the booth had no tapes. It was a meeting spot.
That's right. I want to shout out Kevin Castle. Says, hey, Joe and Drew. Joe, you handsome bastard.
Love you, Kevin. Love you, brother.
Oh, also John Scandato. What's up?
Love you, John.
Wow. See, we're doing the Brooklyn thing today, man. Yeah, just a last a word on this. This is me and Saab when I was managing Marauder.
Look at the hair on that guy.
Yeah, you can see. Yeah, you can see. This is like management and artist. Like this.
You look like you owned a booth at Caesar's Bay Bazaar, bro.
Here I am. This was in Europe. There's the bus we were traveling in, but I managed Marauder, man. I just, I deserve a friggin' monument and a medal for that.
Yes, I'm sure you do.
Yeah, that was.
I love all those dudes. I grew up with all of those dudes. Even before Marauder, we all were friends going to shows. So
that's right, Mosh Front. Yep, it was the Crossover 2000 tour. Yep. There you go. So you're coming up, and tell me. Let's jump into. I want to jump into Maximum Penalty, but I want to take a second. Yeah, let's do Maximum Penalty for a second. How did that come to be? How did you step into that?
All right. So after running around there, Here Comes High School, I had a chance to go to music and art.
You had music. You went to music and art, didn't you?
I did.
That's awesome.
And that 1984 in the middle of Manhattan really opened my eyes to the world. A lot of things. Music was one of them. But music was the most important thing. I mean, I went to school for art, but man, I got an education in music culture like you wouldn't believe. And I loved it. I was hooked right then and there. Honestly, it was about maybe my second or third year. I started taking classes with a fellow student named Brian Gosher, punk rock kid. And me and him hit it off. We were very good friends at the time. And he was already kind of jamming in the band and said, look, listen, they were looking for a guitar player. And I'm like, okay, that sounds cool kind of stuff. And, he's like, yeah, like kind of punk metal crossover. We have these songs and you may know Jimmy. And it just so happens I did know Jimmy from Sarcasm days.
Right. Jimmy sang for Sarcasm.
Jimmy played drums.
Oh, so he played drums and sang, right?
No, Animal played Animal sang, and Jimmy played drums for Sarcasm. But that's how I met him. That's another story. Very funny one. So Brian's like, look, listen, come down to Giant Studios on 14th Street. Ooh. And just walk in, bring your guitar. And I was like, I don't know, man, 16, 17 years old, and I was into it. I was ready. I'd already been playing at the house. I had my little amp, harassing the neighbors. I was already kind of up and running playing guitar. And I walk in, and it's Brian and Mildred on bass and Jimmy Williams playing and singing. And from there it was on to a drummer, and then on to Crucial Chaos. And then the first show we did as a band was AF Live at CB's, which man set the bar fucking high, man. And I'll never forget that day.
That's this show, right?
Yes.
I love these. I love this era, or the flyer thing when like, let's say you were playing above a band, like it's your first show, but I love that the flyer, you're like Van Halen on the flyer.
That's 17-year-old glory right there.
I love it, bro. I love that about hardcore. Is that like, I love when you see like 3 or 4 flyers from the same show, and like the bottom band first show, you see Agnostic Front, and then you see it's just one of the great things about hardcore. But yeah, this turned out to be a legendary show. Tell us about it.
So Jimmy was friends with Roger, and Jimmy came to the rehearsal and said, "Look, listen, we got this show with Agnostic Front. I really want to do it." And we're like, "Well, shit, of course. It's like the first real matinee." And we knew anything, with AF. I mean, I've been to countless matinees. I knew it was going to be great. So we get there, and it's packed, and it's hectic, and the doors aren't even open, and they're pressed to push the doors open. So Tommy Victor, who's doing sound at the time,
We love that guy.
love Tommy. Tommy's a great guy, gentleman. Says, "Look, listen, we're gonna crank one out before the doors open," but they had let the doors open already. So we started just sound checking, and we started getting a huge reaction. And it's
Just from the sound check.
And I got to be honest with you, I got a little nervous because people really started getting into it. We had released the demo, only, I mean, I don't even think we even really released it at that point. But the songs were circulating around, and people knew the lyrics, and it was really, really unbelievable. Yeah, no, that's a
little later, right?
Yeah, that's the Pete Sick of It All benefit.
But I'm putting that up for CBGB's for CBGB's vibe.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got who you got in there? You got.
I see Ralph. Is that Ralphie Boy? I see.
That's Scotty Banks with his.
Scotty Banks. Excuse me.
Under the symbol is BJ and Mildred on bass. Yeah, that's a. Look at the Charvel guitar on that guy. Holy God.
Okay, so that was the first show.
Yeah, and it was unbelievable. Even for the opening band, it was just hectic, hot, packed from jump. It was great.
You mentioned just to and as Arnie Stone would say, ride the horse in the direction it leads us. The demo that you talked about. Didn't you guys just re-release the demo on vinyl?
We did. Patrick Kitzel from Reaper actually took the time. We did a couple of versions of this. Well, actually, it started with that right there.
Oh, let's see that. That's the first demo?
That's the first demo.
Got it.
And it started there. And then it went to excuse me. It went to this record, Where the Wild Things Are. That's what really put us on the map.
Yeah, we're gonna. You want to go there?
Well, I'm just running it down.
Hey, I like it. Go on.
But that really put us on the map. Yeah, man. This really was a special time for us to be a part of it. I mean, when Bill kind of asked us to be a part, we knew the band's going on, and it was just like, it was definitely a moment caught in time, bottled up.
Yep.
I mean, I know Revelation had theirs, and that's an excellent record as well.
Mm-hmm.
But very proud to be a part of this record.
Well, this record is, this is a record that resonates with a lot of people. It's interesting because, of course, I'm like a first wave American hardcore guy. So for me, like Flex Your Head came out when I was a teenager, and that really resonates with me.
Right.
This is sort of like the next generation of kids.
Yeah.
Or even the next generation. But this has, who else is on this thing? You guys, Outburst, Killing Time, Crackdown. This thing.
Raw Deal before Killing Time.
Yeah. Oh, really? Was it Raw Deal on here? Or it was.
It's Raw Deal.
All right. Cool.
I mean, I think they changed the print at one of the reissues, but Norman Bates is on there, GB's on there. Oh my God, this is quite a. I mean, who else? Well, Terror's on there. Life's Blood. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Life's Blood's on there too.
Uppercut.
Yep.
Great record, but that was the one that really put us on the map.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously. Flyers and tapes out of Bleecker Bob's. That's I'm hustling the band from show to show. But it was later, all the way, years later to last year, Patrick Kitzel. I always talked about like really trying to, everybody was putting out like reissues of their stuff. and I had seen, Breakdown do it, Raw Deal did it, and I really liked it. And I really wanted to, embody like the band's first 2 years in this release. And I think he knocked it out of the park, man. I mean, the thing is fucking unbelievable. I'm sorry. I mean, the fucking record, it's all old 80s. It's the first 2 years of the band. I mean, the guy did an incredible job on it.
Great packaging, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, anything from fucking like just old logos to lyrics. I mean, the best part is that he went ahead and did another pull-out poster. He put the original logo I did in like 1988 in there, but he's got every show we ever did in the first 2 years of the band's inception, which is fucking awesome. I'm really proud of it.
That is awesome, and
Yeah,
isn't it great when that happens? It's like your demo, you know what I mean?
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
He was one of the few guys to actually step up and say, you know what? I love it too. Let's fucking put something special together. And he really did, man. You
Yeah.
can still get it at reaperrecords.com. It's still for sale. There's copies left. Colored vinyl. Fucking awesome thing.
Cool. Let me ask you, coming up in Brooklyn and Max and Penalty was very, very proficient, very busy your first couple of years that you guys got going. You guys played an awful lot. Any like Brooklyn venues from that era that are sort of that are forgotten about, or like any kind of Brooklyn places that people might not know about across the world?
I mean, everybody knows L'Amour's. I mean, L'Amour's was a big deal for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Had a chance to play there with Whiplash. But obviously, I think I said this to you before in our last interview. The one that flies under the radar is Animal Hall.
Yeah.
That's one of them, and there was a lot of great shows coming out of Animal Hall. It's where I discovered bands like Nuclear Assault and Primal Scream, Carnivore. I mean, Death Angel played there. You know what I mean? A lot of local bands too. But
all right, you asked for it, you got it. Here it is. Damn, I'm good. Boom, 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 boom. Death Angel, Whiplash, Rest in Pieces, Token Entry.
I was there. And the best part about this place for me is that I walked 5 blocks from my house, and this was the place, and it was great. It was nothing special. It was a plywood stage with a shitty PA. Guys with the Rogue Animals would have the front bar was a coffin with Tall Boys in it, and somebody would run a tape in between bands, and it was really like, of course, I don't even remember a sound man in the place. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everybody got levels and just did their thing. It was definitely more vibe than it was sound quality. And some of those shows were packed out the door. It was a great time. It was really, really a great time.
I mean, looking back at a lineup like this, it's mind-boggling. Death Angel, Whiplash, Rest in Pieces.
In a fucking dump.
Yeah, right.
I mean, look, listen, I've seen a lot of great shows in dumps, but that was it'll never a time to never be again, man.
I mean, yeah, L'Amour always comes across, the radar screen, and what one of the bands that is really, synonymous with L'Amour's would be Carnivore. Was Carnivore an influence of yours?
100%. I mean, it was such an influence. I think Keith was such an influence on me at the time. I didn't even know it, that just my picking, the music style, the kind of writing I was even doing in Max and Penalty. Not that Max and Penalty sounds anything like Carnivore, but I saw Keith play L'Amour's with them with Manowar.
Wow.
And he came out with an Ibanez Destroyer, and I had to fucking have one. You know what I mean? That band, to me, coming out of Brooklyn, just looking at this photo, I could think of so many shows. These guys were They had a thing unto themselves, man. They
were unique.
They really, really were. I mean, it started out with loincloths and meat, but man, I think soon as one, I mean, even when Pete shaved his head and they came out with Retaliation, they still displayed like a commanding songwriting ability, man. These guys were fucking no joke, man. That record, Retaliation, to this day,
it kills.
is still a fucking killer.
A question from Lenny from Crazy Eddie in Fahrenheit. Do you still have that Ibanez Destroyer?
I absolutely do.
Wow.
I absolutely do. It looks like fucking holy hell, but yes.
That's great. Just since you're Brooklyn, I got to ask you, do you know where this photo was shot?
It looks like, I think this was off the Bell Parkway.
Yeah, it is. It is. I forgot what they call that area right there. It's like
the Marsha.
Yeah, right off the Bell Parkway. Yeah.
Yeah, this is probably after it was the dumping ground for the mob.
Oh yeah, for sure. Which is really strange because now it's like for years it was a dumping ground and a mountain of garbage. And now they put like this much dirt over it, and it's the Shirley Chisholm Park now, and you see all this, I'm like,
yeah,
people like, woo, and I'm like, man, I don't know, bro.
Yeah, man. I remember a news article. They found a guy in a cardboard box, probably not too far from where that photo was taken. I can remember seeing the newspaper article in the Daily News over that.
Yeah, no, this isn't by Reese Park. No, this is off the Belt Parkway. It's like kind of Canarsie,
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, there it is. Thank you, Michael Burns. Flatlands off the Belt Parkway.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it. Everyone's like, I was going to say, body's been dropped there. Dumb hipsters walking on a gravesite,
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, when I was a kid, it was a mountain of garbage with 1,000 birds on it.
Yeah.
And we'd go on the Bell Parkway on the way to my grandparents, and we'd be like, ugh.
I mean, I guess these guys, they were looking for that post-apocalyptic vibe. Where do we go? The Belt.
And they got it. Hey, is this this shot is from 1990? Is this the original kind of demo lineup?
No, that's 97. That's
I'm sorry, I thought it was 90.
This is a little further down the trot. This is one of my favorite lineups right here. This is when we got a deal with. This was our little brush with Walter Yetnikoff's label Velvel, and it's the first time we ever had any money or support. But yeah, we were on an offshoot called Gypsy Records. Great time in the band's history, right there. Yep,
cool, very cool. Let me that. Let's talk about this a little bit. This is a good one, man. This comes up on this show a lot. Steven Messina's a Long Island guy, and this would be Sundance. And I guess you guys were out there playing some shows with the Cro-Mags in, I guess, '89.
Well, this is pretty much the only one we did in '89 with them. This is the demo lineup, and we got a shot to run out and open up the show. We didn't hesitate.
Yeah,
it was a packed house. It was great. We had great billing. It was awesome. At the time, I was playing my friend Anthony's Flying V, and I guess it caught the attention of Doug Holland. So we started talking, and that's the night I actually met him and Harley that night. Great show.
Yeah, Sundance was an interesting. That was Frank Cariola, right?
Yes.
Frank Cariola's Sundance.
A lot of great shows out there.
Yeah, and you guys got out and toured Europe and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, Richie. This is actually the photo before had Mark Sisto in it. He had come in to the band when we kind of reformed. Mm-hmm. I had known Mark from Breakdown, lifelong friend, and we had this record going on Velvel called Super Life, and we were touring with it. And he couldn't tour with us for he had a good job at the time, So we didn't look far, and we wound up asking Rich McLaughlin to come and join the band. And as you know, Richie just passed. So I look at this photo, man. I definitely get choked up. I miss this guy. Here's another guy that should be with us. But Richie came in, cut from the same cloth as us. Obviously, you know, NP and Killing Time, same pedigree, you know. So it was like really no, you know, question that he would come in and join the band. And he came in, and we did 2 rehearsals with him. And the next show we did was
Wow.
Dynamo.
Oh,
This was 90. This was 98.
Dynamo was popping in those.
Yeah, man. And he wound up doing 2 tours of Europe with us. I'm sorry, 3.
Wow.
And then he did a full run with AF, the Bombs, and Dropkick with us in the States. Richie was a big part of the band for a long time. I'm definitely, I was definitely going to shout him out before we parted ways today. Richie McLaughlin was such a blessing when he came into the band, and he just picked up the bass and learned songs, like not even like a few, but like the whole goddamn catalog. He was really into it. You know, we were kind of really in the middle of a hustle with the label, so we didn't want to lose momentum. And Richie came in and just really kind of propelled us and gave us a real shot to kind of, you know, keep it going. And we did more than that with Richie.
That's awesome.
I'm going to miss that guy fucking like you wouldn't believe. My heart goes out to him and his family, the Killing Time family, the Breakdown family.
Yeah, it's
horrible.
Yeah, it's been happening. Was Mosh was on that tour? Was Mosh your tour manager?
Oh, Mosh was on. You know, he was on the first tour with Sisto, with AF. It was that was the first. It was the Unity Fest in '97, the year prior to that.
Oh, it was this. I got it. Here you go. Wow, I'm light on my feet today, man. This is the Unity Fest, correct?
That was the American run.
Okay.
So this was the American run, which was great. It was 2 months in the States, you know, let the dogs out. You know what I mean? We were it was a great time in the band. You know, made friends with everybody on that tour. Mm-hmm. We had already done a month with AF prior to this with Vision and Morning Again. And then our original bass player couldn't do this tour, and that's when Richie came in. So Richie McLaughlin did these dates with us. It was what an amazing time.
Now, when there was a point, I guess Maximum Penalty was kind of up and rolling. And didn't you do the Lament thing for a bit while Maximum Penalty was happening?
Well, right around, I guess this was '89. We were, you know, doing our local thing, and we had the demo and the comp out. And how do I say this? I mean, you know, we got sidetracked in a couple of things. A couple of guys left the band. We brought in other people. And at the time, Jimmy had become a guest of New York State. Mm-hmm. So we were unable to continue. We were even supposed to do a 7-inch on Blackout that just never was meant to be. So what had happened, you know, the remaining band, wound up going with another singer in a more metal kind of direction. And we put out a 7-inch and had a little run till about, I guess, around '93. And honestly, as soon as when I got a phone call from our original drummer, Mark Labetti, at the time saying that, look, listen, Jimmy's, you know, coming back into New York. Let's get together. And, you know, I love Jimmy. We've been through the trenches. I've been friends with him since high school. So, you know, we got back together, and '93, we started writing songs again, and, you know, just kept going right from there. You can really say we haven't stopped since.
Yeah, that makes sense. Here's, you know, this one came across. This is an interesting one. I guess this must have been '89. You guys going up to the Anthrax and playing. You guys got out there.
Yeah. No, that was another pit stop. We were lucky to get put on a lot of great shows up there. This was one of them. This is, I think, right around Blood Sweat record for Sick of It All. And
I like the no dickheads thing. The dick with the I just noticed that.
I did all these flyers.
Oh, you did this one?
I did them all.
That's awesome.
No
dickheads.
I would throw everything on there.
That's awesome.
I was just so into, the shows because I knew like this one was incredible. And I have to say, going up to Connecticut, you're out of your element in the Lower East Side and doing shows, and this was one of the first shows where there was like a huge acceptance for the band, and it was definitely a magical time, man. Not a lot of politics in the scene. Sonically, it didn't matter. It was all vibe. You know what I mean? And when I look at flyers like this, it was really, to me, the pinnacle of like, a lot of the good in hardcore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a vibrant.
I mean, I was fucking 17, so you know what I mean?
No excuse, right? Hey, let me shout out some sponsors.
Yeah, man.
We got a big reveal for this A7 thing, and we'll come back and we'll continue on in a couple of minutes. All right,
man. Awesome.
Thank you, brother. What's happening, boys and girls and boys around the world? This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, and we are sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, the Texas Silver Rush, your core hardcore fan page, and of course, Vlad and Organic Grill. It's a vegan restaurant located in East Village of New York City at 123 First Avenue. Featured in New York Magazine and New York Times and Veg News, their dishes have won numerous awards, including Best Veggie Burger. They make their own cheeses, sausages, and burger patties, and every dish on the menu can be made gluten-free for all you gluten-free motherfuckers out there. This year, they're celebrating their 20th anniversary, and they're all about having a great time while enjoying amazing, clean food. After 3 months of being closed, they're now open for deliveries. Get in touch with them and order some great food at www.theorganicgrill.com. I love this place. I go down there. Vlad feeds me. It rules. And I know a couple people who watch the show who've never been down there have gone down and checked it out. It is awesome. It is the Organic Grill. Also, while we're at it, how about Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, located in Lakewood, Colorado is the Rocky Mountain headquarters for all things punk, metal, and hardcore. Established in 2014, they have the largest selection of records, CDs, shirts, stickers, patches, and accessories. Accessories. I need some accessories. Between Chicago and Los Angeles. From the pit to the ditch, they got your back. Get in touch with them at www.chainreactionrecords.com. Want to remind you, as if you need any reminding, anybody out there watching the show, this show's like PBS. This show's like channel 13 here. And there is a Patreon page. Don't be a Hatreon. Join Patreon. You do not have to lurk in the shadows anymore, my friend. You can come step into the light, come out of the cold, be a Patreon. It's our community within a community. I release all kinds of never before seen stuff on there. And listen, the show needs your support. We all love the show. And, I just want to thank, I got to shout, you just reminded me. I got to shout a couple people out, some new patrons, Brig Bry, Michael Hobson, Ori Frank, representing Tel Aviv, Eternal Struggle, Kano X, Chicago, Philip Herman, Stan Funtanalekis, John B., Chris Hartnett, Olvis Machir, Meredith Bain, Hedrick Feller, David Funk. Get the funk out of my face, David Funk. Also, Joseph Shortino, Gina B., Devora Gajovic, and Craig Wicker. That was a mouthful. but thank you all for supporting this show and enabling me to do it. We all know I ain't getting rich doing this, but at least I could focus up on it, and I don't have to freak out about paying rent and bills. This show helps me do that. It's Greek to me. Hey, if Patreon is too much, there is a PayPal. If you want to make a donation, PayPal Stone4124 at AOL. Yes, I will watch you have sex with your old lady for $150. There's different tiers on Patreon. There's a $2 tier, a $5 tier, a $10 tier, a $25 tier, and a $100 tier. I think there's a $500 tier too, where like, you can punch me in the face, or I'll punch you in the face, or, you can watch me have sex with my girlfriend, or I'll watch you have whatever. We can get kooky. What else? Yeah, it's a Jerry Lewis telethon. Relax there, Skipper. It ain't easy. Make it rain. Hey, you pay me $500, I'll make it rain, bro. $4,000. Can I? Yes. Yes, you can shoot me. Just not in the face or genital. The two, like when we do an antidote show, like the two zone. I tell the crowd, two zones here. My face and my mystery zone, my groin area. These are the two areas I'm most concerned about. Do not elbow me in the face or in the mystery zone. I said that in Europe, and right away some kid got on stage, bam! Ugh! So there you go. That said, you know what? It's time for a big announcement. I know everybody's excited about this. I'm excited too. Let me clear the deck. Let me clear the deck here. We're going to bring on a couple of guests, and we're going to make a big announcement. Where is my big announcement flyer? That said, okay, here we go. Next show, I'm grabbing your wiener. Listen, if you want to pay for it, you can grab my wiener, bro. I mean, I want shows to come back. Oh, that's a novel idea, Joseph. Here we go. So first up, I want to bring a good friend of ours, big supporter of this show, great guy from Pitchfork, our friend, Mr. Warren Lee. What's up, bro?
What's happening, bro? What's going on?
You're going on. Get your stage shit together.
What's going on, man?
Did that ever happen with you? Like when you were working with Slayer and stuff, like someone just totally spaced out and you're like, you go in the dressing room and you're like, yo, bro, what are you doing? And they're like, oh shit.
No, because they would have like, warnings like, hey, hour till show or whatever.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
So, but I mean, there's been times where, on stage, shit will just get played wrong, right? And look at me right away, and I'll be like, hey man, that's on you guys. Like, sometimes a bad note gets hit, right? So it happens, right? So
right.
I mean, it worked both ways too, right? So sometimes, I hand the guitar, went out of tune. Oops, sorry. Give me that back real quick, So, oops.
I mean, those guys were. I mean, you told me those guys were pretty easy to work with.
Oh yeah. I mean, dude, everyone makes mistakes. Just don't make the same mistake all the time, every time, right? So
There you go. Let's bring on. Hold on, let me clear the deck a little bit. Let's make some room here. Everyone's excited to see you, bro.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Hello, everyone.
How's the real estate business?
It's going good.
Good. Yeah, good.
Let's bring anyone needs real estate, hit me up.
That's right. Warren Lee, real estate mogul. Yeah. Yeah, good. Let's bring another friend of ours on. You know him, you love him. He plays guitar in the band Dead Blow Hammer, Mr. Gary Yasko. What's up, bro?
What's up?
What's happening, man?
How are you, buddy?
What's happening?
Good. So,
I'm
hey.
good. I'm doing all right, man.
Good. How's Jersey?
Cold. But, it's everywhere.
Cold today. It's definitely cold today, so.
You know, I'm in Florida. It's not too cold here, boys.
Ah, man, whatever. I don't care, dude. Whatever.
All right, so hey, I'm gonna take the lead with this a little bit, and explain what's happening here
Yep.
for everybody out there. For the past couple of months, I think it's been almost half the year since we kind of came up with this idea and started working on it. An incredible amount of work has been put into this. And no, this is not about live shows at the A7. I want to head that off right now. We're not announcing live shows. That's not happening
It's
yet.
not up to us, man. So
Right. But about 6 months ago, there was some dialogue between me and Gary about doing a compilation. As a matter of fact, about doing an A7 compilation, and based on the Back to the New York Hardcore Chronicles music series, which we talked about earlier. Maximum Penalty played that one, and we had a great run there, and we thought, hey, let's do a compilation. So there was some talk about that, and Warren, we had a dialogue, and you stepped in and said you want to be involved. So this is really the big reveal here, is that on April 27th, 2021, we are on Pitchfork is going to be released the A7 Back to the New York Hardcore Roots music series compilation. There are 17 bands.
17 bands, count them. 17.
17
Huge.
bands. We are not mentioning any bands yet. On the show coming up on Wednesday, we are going to roll out the first 5 bands. We're going to do it in stages, but today's show is really the announcement. And Gary, let's take you first. Give me a minute. How did this come about? Give us a little perspective on it.
Well, actually, it's funny. I was having a conversation with the good Reverend Nicky Bullets from Carbon Parade. He and I were just chatting. We're like, you know what? We played a show together at Kingsland I'd say about a year ago. Actually, I think the anniversary just came up, and we're like, why don't we just do a split? And we were thinking about it. We're like, okay, well, if we're going to do just 2 of us, why don't we grab 4 bands? And there were some names involved. And I said, well, all these bands played A7. So why don't we call the A7 inch? And then things started rolling. And then we're like, let's give Drew a call. Because if somebody could blow this up, Drew can blow this up.
I'm a listen, for Christ's sake. I'm a magician, not a wizard.
Right. So we started rolling with it. We kind of went through some bands that we wanted to involve, and the conversation with Drew and he and I both got on the same page. We're kind of simpatico on this. Was the bands had to represent that room and the movement that was happening, that second wave of A7, that feeling you get when you walk in the door, when it's a lazy Sunday becomes this incredible feeling, this camaraderie, this family. How do we capture that? How do we get that onto a piece of physical music, also digital, and get it out to people? Our goal was to bring that energy from that small room so that some kid in Croatia who picks up this release can feel like he's there. And it's very, very important for us to do that.
Yeah, and somebody asked about hold on, studio live. Where did I see that? Somebody was asking, is it studio or live? And it is all original studio tracks. Every band went into the recording studio and recorded a new, unique track for this compilation. It is all new studio tracks.
Yep. I mean, basically, this is like, when we were coming up as kids, like listening to, New York's Hardest, you know what I mean? Or East Coast Assault, stuff like that, where you picked up from, bands from that, right? It's the same style. This is what, the concept behind this release is, basically, right? So to bring that era back of compilations that basically helped you discover hard. I mean, that's how hardcore was, right? The layout's going to be some, that old school style stuff, so.
Absolutely. It's like Joe Affie, our guest Joe Affie said, about where the wild things are. Like, and we discussed how like for my generation, Flex Your Head. For his generation, Where the Wild Things Are. And it's been a long time since New York hardcore has had a compilation with this vibe,
this feel, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Joe Affie would know, right? You know what I mean? That all these, these dudes that we all came up discovering, other bands by listening to these hardcore comps, man. And you got your that's how you discovered new music basically back then, right? So.
Absolutely. And yeah, the New York Thrash comp. The New York Thrash comp was one of them. And so it's really, this release here, the goal here is like in the spirit of Flex Your Head and Where the Wild Things Are and the New York Thrash comp. That's our goal here. We're not gonna get deep into details. Today's the rollout. We're gonna sort of, put it out piecemeal. We're very excited. The person who's designing it. We're very excited about the person who is doing the original cover art for it. We are very excited about the person who's mastering it.
It's all hardcore dudes. It's all people that have been in the scene for years, right? Or they're all involved in, in the New York hardcore scene. So
all family.
Hey, let's give them a little something here, Warren. Vinyl available in Germany?
Oh yeah, little Cortex action going on there.
Yeah. We're gonna the vinyl's gonna be available in Germany. There's gonna be tell us a little bit, Warren, about our plan as far as like not where, but how we're gonna do a couple limited editions.
Cortex will have a limited edition vinyl, a color, right? Another store here, local, will have also a limited edition color vinyl as well. And then we're going to have the vinyl color that's available at Pitchfork, right? That website. So it'll be 3 different ones. And then the one available at Pitchfork, I think the packaging is going to be a little different. So it's going to be cool. It's going to be really cool. Everyone's going to love it. It's going to be great.
Yeah. And we're going to get, like I said, it's really kind of coming out. We're going to make announcements like every show, and we're going to bring people on, and there's going to be a reveal on Wednesday's show. This Wednesday show with Kevin Crowley from The Abused. We're going to announce the first 5 bands. A representative from each of those bands is going to pop on the show. So the first 5 bands are going to be released this Wednesday, and there's a lot to talk about. And finally, I got to say, like, you guys, we have all worked very hard on this, and it's finally it's out there in the public, man.
Yep, we made it happen, right? So we worked hard to put all this stuff together. We're still working hard to put it together, and we're gonna have it out to roll it out in April, man. We'll probably do a pre-order a little before then, so everyone pay attention. I'm sure we'll talk about it, So
here's a legitimate question from Upstate Rick. What if you don't own a record player, Gary?
Well, what we're going to offer in the vinyl itself, we're going to offer a digital download card, so you don't have to own it. You could just get a great package with it, and you can just download it digitally and just listen to it as you want.
Yeah, so this is for people that don't own vinyl players, right? Because I don't own a vinyl, I can't play records. You can still buy the record and download all the songs.
Right.
There you go. So
cool. All right, man. Well, good. Whew. Glad that's out there now, huh? So,
yes.
But we'll
a lot of behind the scenes going on.
Hey, Drew, a lot of 7 a.m. phone calls, huh?
Listen, I'm up at 5, bro.
I'm up at 6, bro. It's all good, dog.
I do my best work before like noon. I'm shot by noon. I'm shot.
Yeah, you're ready for the nap, just like me. So
I take a nap. I wake up. I do the show on a show day. So no CDs, bro. We're not messing with CDs.
No. This is a old school vinyl release, man. No.
Come on now. Doesn't everybody have 2 tables and a microphone? There you go. All right. Hey, look. Thanks, guys. Hey, it's Sunday shout out day. Warren, you want to shout anybody out?
I want to shout out Joe Affie. Joe Affie, right? That's who I want to shout out. And then I want to shout out you guys.
Joe Affie. Wait a second. Joe Affie, bro. You getting like
I'm shouting out Warren. I'm shouting you out,
Dude, Joe, look at all those beautiful guitars you got behind you, yo, man.
yeah, like what?
Oh man, that's my wife.
Hold on, Joe. You know, if you ever need help working on those things, just let me know, right? Give me a holler.
Oh, all right, let's do it. I'm ready.
Just let me know, dude. Let me know.
You know Joe's a Les Paul guy, bro.
It's gonna be great, dude. We'll work on guitars and talk music for hours. It'll be great.
Listen, right after this, let's go.
Yeah, call me.
Let me get my nap in, and then
Yeah, all right.
Gary, anybody you want to shout out?
Definitely. I want to shout out all the bands that contributed to this. You guys were fantastic. You got us what we needed to move this project along. Super excited to have everybody involved in it. It's going to feel great. And I want to shout out my little girl, Margaret. She's watching down in Florida. Just want to say what's up.
Okay, cool.
Here's my daughter in London. She's 9.
Nice.
She's amazing. So there you go.
Pretty girl.
Wow. You guys have breeded. And you too, Joe. You're a breeder too. You got a couple daughters, right?
No, one, just one, a beautiful one.
All girls, man. Interesting. All right. Hey, Gary. Hey, Warren. Thank you. I'm glad it's out there.
Thank you.
We're going to be talking a lot, and we're on the way, friends.
You're around, dude. It's all good. Thank you for having me on today. Hey, guys. Gary, Joe Affie, call me.
Yes.
All right, guys.
Take it easy.
Later.
Thanks, Drew.
My pleasure. Well, there you go, Joe. Another New York hardcore compilation.
Yeah, man. Love it.
We'll
Warren makes a good point, man. Compilations for many people are a point of getting new music, and it's a great thing. I mean, there's so many people that have looked at like the 2 compilations that we mentioned before, and the whole scene opened up to them just from those compilations. So yeah, he's right. I'm excited for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you played the room. You. I remember you and me talking. There was something special happening there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it was great because we put the word out there, and like everybody responded. Went into the studio, did a track, and what was interesting was, we'll get into it later, but. You could fit a lot of hardcore bands on a 12-inch of vinyl.
Well, that's what I said before. It was like, 2-3 minute songs. You got to love hardcore,
Yep, absolutely. You know what? It's time for album of the week. Let's get, here he is. Let me get his thing up there. Hold on. Here he is. Political pundit, Sid the Kid. What's happening?
That's so true.
What did you get banned? Did you get banned from Facebook?
Yeah, but we won't get into that though. This is a music show, not a politics show.
Listen, bro, don't bring with your. I know you're a big politician. I know you're a big knowledgeable politics guy, but you're going to draw that element onto the show.
Nah, this is a music show, Drew.
It's like Sid the Kid, political analyst.
None of that political BS bullshit here. We're all about the music here, everybody. Okay. That's what we're here for. Pardon me.
Couple people in Facebook jail, Let's
Aren't
talk
we all?
about, let's do album of the week. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is brought to you by Sid the Kid, album of the week. Boom.
Ooh.
All right, Sid, tell us about this.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you can get as metal as you can from the early 80s. And this people is British Steel by Judas Priest, which was their 6th studio album and was recorded from December 1979 to February 1980 at Starling Studios in Ascot, England, and was produced by Tom Allen, engineered by Lou Austin, and that awesome iconic record cover was designed by Roslo Zabo, if I got that name pronounced correctly, and was released in April 14th, 1980 on Columbia Records. I mean, the band itself, they had material obviously prior to this, but if you listen to the stuff from then to this record, it's night and day. If you listen to it, and believe it or not, AC/DC was actually quite an influence on this record because they toured with them the year prior, and you could totally tell from that sound from the records prior to this one. even at that time, there was no digital recording and any of that bullshit. You basically had to do pretty much everything analog. And even with, smashing of the milk bottles in the Breaking the Law song, it shows. And this was the first album with Dave Holland on drums. And when this came out, at one point actually it peaked at number 4.
Dave Holland, Ian Hill.
He was the drummer.
Dave Holland, Ian Hill bass.
For at least 9 years. And like I was saying before, this peaked at one point at number 4 in the UK charts, number 34 in the Billboard 200. And it shows that heavy metal in the early 80s wasn't a fad, nor it is now. It went on to go platinum in the States later on. This thing pumped out 3 really good, amazing singles, and 9 tracks total for 36 minutes front to back. It's really a really good record. I listened to it a couple of times today, evenly, just to really get that full appreciation of the record. And, I recommend this to even who've heard of the band, but heard of the album, but never really listened to it. I recommend that you do, because it really is like one pretty damn good fucking record.
All right. Joe, was this an influence at all? Or this record specifically, or like a Judas Priest thing?
No question. Judas Priest, to me, was the quintessential double guitar attack band. I mean, you could say Lizzie, you could say Maiden, but for me, they did it the best. That's how I feel about it. My record for them was Screaming for Vengeance. But this record, like Sid said, is hands down, iconic. It separated them from what they were doing with Sad Wings, which was a great record. But this really, I could hear the AC/DC. When looking back, the guitar sound alone, the separation in it, you know what I mean? But man, iconic record. There's no two ways about it.
Sid, you said this was their 6th record?
Yeah.
Wow. I put this, I guess, because I guess there's those 1 or 2, the first 2 records, one of them sort of wasn't really released in the States till a little bit later, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I always thought that this was like a real early record. I didn't realize this was 6 records in. For me, probably my record is my 3 records that really resonated Judas Priest for me was, of course, Unleashed in the East, which is really a studio record, right? Which is, it's like whenever the great music debate, when somebody goes, about how most live records are bullshit, they point to Unleashed in the East, which is basically it's a studio record, but so is Kiss Alive, right? But they're great. Who cares?
Both legendarily, they're legendarily known to have studio work on them.
Yeah, for sure. And the other one that I really love was Stained Class. That one I loved, and I also love Painkiller. That was sort of like came out when I thought Painkiller was just, the production on that was unbelievable. And I also was around when Turbo came out, and we sort of tripped out on that. Man. Yeah.
That was a tough sell, Drew. Come on, man.
Yeah. So there you go. But good stuff, Sid, man.
Great record.
Yeah, like I said, it's one of those records, obviously within the discography, people know about it, but they don't. I'm not saying you have to give a ton of praise to it, but it's that record that really should not be slept on. It's it's a pretty damn good record. Even from the first track on Rapid Fire, it just sets the pace for the entire album.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But we can't forget how, as much as Breaking the Law is a really good song, the video is so cheesy but amazing though. It's so fucking funny.
What are you talking about?
1980, bro.
I said cheesy. I would say it sucks.
Oh, that's the one where they get in the car and they're driving.
Yeah, they're robbing the big guitars and shit. I mean, it's cheesy, but the song's so fucking good, though.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm your turbo lover. Yo, the snare sound on that record is bananas.
I couldn't get past the outfits, man.
Oh yeah, that was.
I think that was more Rob's call for that, but we won't go there with that one though. It was more of an image thing. People ate it with a spoon, a knife, and a fork, and
Turbo was after Painkiller or before?
Before.
It was before.
Okay.
Because Painkiller was actually when Dave Holland he left the band, but
yeah, they had what's his name, Scott.
there's
Travis
a whole thing about that we won't get into.
Scott Travis picked it up a little bit, yeah, for sure.
It went. I mean, like I said, when the Painkiller record came out, I saw Headbangers Ball, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Question for you, Sid. What did Rob Halford mean on Point of Entry? Ooh. All right, moving on.
That's deep.
That's where the internet searches will help you, because we're not going to give you that answer.
Oh God. Hey Sid, you want to shout anybody out?
Just wanted to thank Warren, and Pitchfork just for doing this compilation. Like, even I'm shocked that this is going to come out, but it's definitely something productive is coming out of all this. What's going on right now. All the bands are going to be on this comp, which I honestly don't know yet who's going to be on it. I got a kind of good idea, but I'm looking forward to seeing the final product when everything is all said and done, basically.
Good. Thank you, Sid. Thank you. You do good work, Sid. Thank you.
Oh, wait, Sid, Drew, I got one quick announcement, actually, super quick.
Mm-hmm. And don't start with your political.
No, there's no political crap going on.
I know you're a big political pundit now. Like, I know people are coming to you, to get schooled on the politics.
Oh God!
Go ahead.
There's no politics here. It's music. God damn it! But anyway, guys,
what are you telling us? Rob Halford's gay?
Really? Wait, no.
Crazy world. Next thing you know, Michael Alago, will be gay. I don't know. I don't buy any of it.
Hey, I don't buy that. Actually, that what's his face? Ricky Martin's actually gay. He's straight as an arrow. But anyway, moving on here. Like I said, guys, after the show's done, feel free to go over to mixlr.com/SDK sound system. Gonna be doing a quick hour set, just playing random stuff that I've been kind of digging through the archives. A few little surprises here and there, and just check it out. If you haven't heard about the show, you can follow me on Instagram, SidTheKid_sound system, and all the information is right there.
Thank you, brother. Well done. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks, guys. Cheers.
Later, Sid.
There you go, Sid the Kid, political pundit. Hey, let's talk a little bit about M.O.D. and you did. I didn't realize you did like a 5-year stint playing with Billy Milano and M.O.D. and you played on this record. Tell us a little bit about how that came about and a couple anecdotes.
So the first tour MP did, we did with AF. It was like from before, the Unity Fest with Vision and Morning Again. So we're late. Our flight is late. We get there. We're supposed to all meet together to hook up at a bus. We had no idea Billy was going to be there. At the time, he was managing AF.
AF, yeah.
So we're looking for our luggage, and here comes Billy Milano in the middle of Europe. And we're like, what are the fucking odds? And he comes up, and if you know Billy, he's not a quiet guy. And, we didn't really know each other at the time. And he's like, come on, guys, let's go. And we're like, okay, let's go. Very animated guy. Love Billy. So we do the tour. And by the end of the tour, he's managing Maximum Penalty. Yeah. So, at the time we were looking for another record label. He was trying to help facilitate that. And just developed, we were over there for over a month, so we really got to know each other and, had a lot of laughs, a lot of fun on that tour. And we came home and Maximum Penalty was kind of in a bad spot at the time. And a couple of us wound up doing different things. Darren at the time went and played with Madball, and Billy at the time went and said, hey, look, listen, I'm putting this record together. Would you come play guitar? And I'm like, absolutely. He was in Jersey at the time. Me and him got along and still get along to this day.
Was that recorded at Big Blue Meanie?
Yes, it was. It was recorded at Big Blue Meanie. We had a couple of people come in on that. Scott Metaxas kind of helped us with that. Paul Crook came in and helped me get a guitar sound and played a couple of leads on that. And ultimately, Dan Korneff came in, a friend of Billy's who had worked on Lamb of God, came in to actually kind of bring it home. And that was a good time, man. Wound up doing a States run with, that's Milwaukee Metal Fest. that's me borrowing Luca's hair for the shot.
Danny, oh, and I see John and the John Connolly from.
Yes.
Is that him? Is that John in the back?
That's
There
John in the back. We got some deicide there. Yeah, I mean, obviously not sober. But that was a good time, man. I have to say, going into a situation like that was really, really cool because it made you step up your game. Obviously there was a style going on with Billy and everything, and it was good. He was a little demanding, which was great as a guitar player that was kind of safe in my own little world. And I actually got a chance to play with Paul Crook, who was in Anthrax, so I think he's in Meatloaf now.
Is that right?
Paul Crook, yeah, great guitar player, blonde-haired guy.
Yeah, he's a touring guitar player. Meatloaf now.
Yes, he is.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So we, worked on that record together, and that was one of those situations, man. That
is that your mother? Is that your mother-in-law watching the show, Joan Smith?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Mom.
That's great. That's awesome. But that was one of the situations where it just makes you a better player. You know what I'm saying?
Love your son-in-law. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I love that woman. She's my mother. But this was one of these situations where, like a couple of other situations, that I could bring up, just guys that you don't normally get to play with.
Yeah.
That force you to kind of remove yourself from your comfort zone and just improve as a player. And Billy was that guy in the studio, and Paul was also that guy, and that was just a great experience.
Yeah, but you were in that mix for like a couple years, huh?
Yeah, man. There was we started it in Jersey, and then Billy moved to Texas, and then I actually went down to Texas for a couple of months with him to get things going. He had this record deal, and we were putting this record together, and we wound up doing a tour from Texas, and then we came back to the East Coast and did another one. But by that time, I think the drummer was moving to Vegas again. I don't know what's with the drummers in Vegas. I don't know, but
Vegas is a hot spot,
Yeah. But that's Danny Burkhardt down at the bottom left. Great drummer.
I was wondering about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Scott Sargent from Las Rocket. He was in the band with us at the time.
That's who's leaning in with the baseball cap?
Yes.
Yeah. And that's Glenn. That's Glenn, right? From Deicide?
Glenn from Deicide, yes.
Yeah. And of course, the only Danny Lilker.
And I think that's Danny's wife, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is like 03. This is like kind of right at the end.
Danny's great, man. He's a good dude. Danny's a good dude, man.
Danny was one of the first guys that was like in full support of MP at shows, which blew my mind because I was such a fan of Nuclear back in the day. When here's like Danny showing up with one of our shirts on, it really kind of blew my mind.
Danny's been on the show a couple times. We haven't had him on lately, but we got to get him back. He's just we love that guy.
Been friends with Danny a long time. Great guy.
I want to talk about this other project that you were involved in. I really did not know about this until I did my homework and we started talking about it. And that is this project. You guys did this release, and that's this project called Fully. Why don't you tell us about that a little bit?
Wow. Okay. So this was Maximum Penalty did independent on IJT at around 97. So this is like something that went on between independent and the record Super Life that we were on Gypsy Records with. At the time, Jimmy was writing songs with Sergio Vega at Night Owl, and they decided to bring me and John Jesse in to kind of round out the lineup to start doing shows and finish up the recording. And there was no intentions of a split. And I think we wound up doing some shows with Lady Luck, which was Roger's side band at the time. This is like, I think 97. And then
I saw Lady Luck play back then. It was Roger, and it was the gal that he was married to at the time.
Yeah.
Denise.
Yes.
Yeah, because she used to bartend at Wetlands.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, come on now.
But
Denise was cool, and Roger played bass in Lady Luck.
Yes, he did.
Was this a 12-inch?
This was a CD. It was a CD. Yeah.
CD. Okay.
But we wound up doing, I think, 6 songs a piece on it. And yeah, this was another situation where thrown into a mix of just playing with different people. You know, Sergio Vega, guy's got a great ear for songwriting, and what I learned from him playing with him was the finesse in your hands and just conforming to kind of different people's styles just ultimately makes you a better player. This was yet again like one of those situations of playing with people that you wouldn't normally play with, that just like it's such a good experience.
Yeah, and of course, for those that may not know, Sergio Vega's in the Deftones now, right?
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah.
This was, I think, Quicksand was on hiatus at the time.
Yeah.
And you know, he had songs, so we just helped him like round him out. It was a great time, man. We had a lot of good shows, a lot of Wetland shows, Brownies, CBs. It was really just a local thing, but we had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, it was like sort of that moment of New York music too, like Wetlands, Brownies. These places don't exist anymore.
I know.
Wetlands, Brownies, Nightingales.
Yes.
You know, they're all. This is that's sort of a forgotten era, a forgotten sort of in a certain way. And another one which has come up is Castle Heights. Like, I mean, I know that's very different. But Castle Heights had a very vibrant, thriving scene there. No one talks about that anymore.
Played there a couple of times. And Castle Heights was a thing where I mean, I can't really speak on it. I know a lot of Queens.
Bond Street, yeah.
Well, Bond Street too. Same thing. They were both really small venues that just, it didn't take a lot to have a great show there, you know. And especially with Castle, we were fortunate enough to have a couple of good shows there. With both bands, actually. I think Lament and Maximum Penalty had played at Castle Heights.
Cool. Animal Hall again. Yes, we know, Ralph. Animal Hall, Sundance. We did all this already, guys. Yeah, no, it's true. It's like there's a chunk of the Chronicles missing. We want the 90s chapter. Yeah. Oh. You got it, baby. Sure.
Yeah, man.
Hardcore's my life. It's all I ever want to do. It's just more and more hardcore.
You know, you said something before about Brooklyn venues. One that I think kind of gets overlooked. This is going back from a question you said before. Was one was the Crazy Country Club.
Oh wow! I don't know much about that place.
Yeah, this was a comedy club on 64th and 7th in Brooklyn. That I guess the comedy thing dried up in the club and they started doing live shows, and then it turned into hardcore and metal in there. And there was a lot of shows in there. Yeah, man.
Kevin Castle says Lament release at Castle Heights 1994.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That was the second wave of Lament. We had Max Capshaw on drums, who was in H2O. And we had a good friend of mine, Jeff Mackey, on bass. That was another incantation.
Another project you've I know you've filled in. You've done some studio work. Is Chromax. I mean, they obviously were influenced, you know, coming up. But you've done a bunch of Chromax work, huh?
Yeah, recently I had the chance to fill in on a tour recently. It was kind of last minute.
A European tour.
Yeah, it was like I guess a Best Wishes kind of anniversary tour. And Rocky George couldn't make the dates. He had prior engagements, and I got a call from Harley, and we were just talking, and he asked me if I knew anybody, and I'm like, well, you know, I could get the time from work, so I kind of just stepped in. It was kind of really a no-brainer. I had played with Harley before. You know, we play very well together, and it's just it was kind of like a seamless thing. I was able to do it with my job, and then again, I got a chance to play with fucking killer people. Gabby, great guitar player. G-Man, amazing drummer.
Yeah, he's great.
You know, that was another learning experience. You know,
It must have been fun playing all that Best Wishes stuff, man.
it was a chore, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's some of it's a workout.
It is, yeah.
The funny story,
Fugitive, and yeah,
yeah. There's so Harley's like, listen, you wanna, can you do this? And I'm like, yeah, no problem. I was into it. And he's like, all right, well, look, listen, hook up with Gabby. And I went to Gabby's house like maybe once or twice. I never rehearsed with them. I did this tour cold. I show up, like, you know, we get to the airport, I get over there, and I'm just filling in, you know. And man, you want to talk about yet another learning experience? Like, I mean, you know, anyone who's toured knows that the first couple of a run is a little rough, you know.
It's like, or you do what AF does. Are we rehearsing? Yeah, the first 3 shows of the tour.
I love it. But this was, you know, I tell you, man, I was rehearsing the first couple of shows with these guys. Yeah. But by the 4th one, it just kicked in. I mean, I knew the songs. I had played with him in the past. I mean, I grew up on the material. You know, it was really, you know, it was really like a no-brainer. You know, it was very, after the 4th show, it was just a very easy, comfortable situation, and a lot of fun too.
Yeah, and you did some recording recently too, right?
That happened as well. Got a chance to work with, you know, Rocky, Harley, Gary again. This was cool. Got a chance to go to Steve Zing's house and knock out a couple of songs. And that was fun too. Another situation where, you know, when you're playing with people and you're removed out of your, you know, comfort zone, and you just fucking knock it out. It just makes you a better player. It was a challenge, you know?
Well, you're a pro, Joe. You know, you've been you've been around a minute, and you know what you're doing. Let me take a break. Let me do my last shout out. We'll come back and we'll take some questions and stuff. Right?
Oh, awesome.
What's happening? You know what this is. You know why we're here. It is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, and we are sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, The Texas Silver Rush, and certainly want to shout out Warren and everybody at Pitchfork, and of course Zum and everybody at Fryette Amplification. But right now we're going to talk about Your Core fan page. In the wake of the pandemic, Your Core Chris created Your Core fan page, utilizing lessons learned from over 20 years of being an educator and social worker. He decided to try to reach where hardcore punk and the surrounding genre of bands create not only their music, but their message. The interviews are from a psychological perspective to harvest motivation. Harvester of motivation. Personal insight and perspective. Please reach out to them on Facebook or Instagram if you have content to share or if you want to promote your band, Your Core fan page. A couple other things, just a reminder, if anybody out there at this point is not following me on Instagram, you should. Post all the new shows on there. It's on Instagram at Stone Films NYC. Get with it. Yo, get with it. Follow me on Instagram. Also, if you're watching this show in rerun, there is a subscription button right there. Subscribe to the show on YouTube. You will get alerts when we do a new show. And there's lots of new shows coming up. As a matter of fact, I know you're asking yourself, what else is coming up, Drew Stone? Let me tell you. Wednesday, January 27th. Kind of stoked on this one. The one, the only, Miss Mina Caputo. A little talking, you know, while we're on the Brooklyn tip, you know, some Life of Agony coming up. I know people are really excited about this show. This took some time to line up. We finally lined it up. So we got Mina coming up on the 27th of January. Then on Sunday, January 31st, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania represent. Chuck Treese is coming on the show. McRad, Underdog, Bad Brains. Did you know that Chuck Treese stepped in for Mackie and played drums for the Bad Brains? Should be pretty cool. Also, he is a old school pro skater. So we're looking forward to Chuck. Hell of a nice guy. Philadelphia represent. And then, of course, last but not least, Sunday, February 7th, the Landmark 100 show with our friend Jamie Jasta. I was just on his podcast. It was great. We have a lot to talk about. This is going to be really, really a fantastic show. So don't forget. Actually, I'm not worried about you forgetting because I'm going to mention this probably 300 more times before the show actually happens. So don't worry about that. Yeah, I'm down in Florida with my dad and waiting for my brother to show up. And we are shooting next week for our new film. This will be the final stuff that we're shooting. And I'm excited to be down here working with my dad and, of course, with my brother. A lot of you guys know him. He's the cinematographer on Expedition Unknown. And a couple of the crew members from Expedition Unknown are coming down. And we have a big shoot day this Saturday. Very exciting. Hopefully we're going to finish the principal principal shooting for the film. Long time coming. COVID really, how's the weather? The weather's okay. I took a walk last night. It was cold. It was like 40 degrees. All I know is I'm not up in New York freezing my ass off. Will shuffleboard be played? No, they won't let us play shuffleboard here in my dad's place. That's a non-COVID thing. You can't do that. So Arnie's good. Arnie is in the mix, and he's going to be on. The old director is going to be on the film stage on Saturday, and we are shooting like a making of. So it's exciting. My dad hasn't been out on the ball field in many years. So really blessed and excited that at this stage of the game I could get out there and direct a film along with my brother and my father. So really excited. Jim, yes. Jim says hello. Jim is super excited. He's happy to see you. Yeah. Some things never change. Just add water, That said, what else? I want to shout out the girls in Women of the Pit Facebook page. If you are a female of the species, join this page. It has all our friends on there, Lori Dawn and Daisha and Nancy Burrill. It is a page run by the gals for the gals. So all you subhuman cavemen are not welcome on the page. Go check it out. Also, want to shout out Upstate Rick and the New York Hardcore Chronicles live comments crew page. Please join it on Facebook. When we're not doing it here, we're doing it over there. What else? I think I got a lot. I think I said a lot. It's a lot. We care a lot. Grab a few days and come. Listen, Darren, thank you for the invitation, man. I want to come down to Key West, and we were going to do it. I know Will Shepler's down there, and I'd love to have lunch with you as well. It's just between the show and getting ready to shoot, I don't think that's going to happen this trip, but for sure. Jan, Drew, is Doyle coming on the show anytime soon? I know he's not a big interview guy, but still. I talked to Doyle. We're friends, but Doyle's not really an interview guy. He doesn't even have like a computer. Like he's not, doesn't want to put the makeup on. Maybe eventually, but that's not really on the agenda. I missed the A7 announcement. What was it? Here it is again for anybody that might have missed it. The A7 announcement is we are on April 27th. On April 27th, we are releasing the A7 Back to the New York Hardcore Roots compilation. Pitchfork, our friends at Pitchfork are putting it out. This is awesome. We've been working on this for a very long time. I don't like to talk about what I'm going to do. I like to talk about what I'm doing. And this is what I'm doing. This is what a lot of us are involved in this. 17 bands, all original material. Every band went into the studio and recorded for it. The first 5 bands are being announced on this Wednesday show with Kevin Crowley. We're going to roll it out a little bit at a time. We're super excited about the talented guy that's designing the packaging. It's going to be a deluxe package. We're going to talk about that. We're super excited about the guy, the name artist that's doing the cover art. And of course, the guy that we're super excited about, the guy that is doing the mastering as we speak. So, yeah, that's what's happening. There's that part of it. So that said, let's keep it moving and grooving, please. Any questions for our friend Joe Affie? Post them. I know you might have asked earlier on in the show, but that's please repost your questions. If you have a burning desire question, we got something called Super Chat. Spend $2 or $5. It comes in color. I can't miss it. Sometimes I miss stuff, or it's also a nice way to support the show. So let's see some questions for Joe Affie. Here we go. What's up, brother? And he's back. Let's see what we got here. Oh boy. Here's an interesting one. First time I saw you guys was at Wally's Place, Bethlehem, PA. NP Crackdown, sick of it all. During the Crackdown set, Jason came off the stage, went at some perceived white power skins. He retained his composure, and they went into Nazi threat. It was a classic. Any memories of that show incident? I met you, and we became friendly soon after.
No, I know Mike a long time. Man, I want to say since the 80s. The only thing that stuck out was the shitty car that we used to get out to that show. It was rough. I think there was like fucking holes in the bottom of the car. If memory serves, it was winter. But yeah, I remember I was excited to get out to Wally's Place because there was already a couple of great shows that happened there already. Raw Deal had just played there, and I really tried to go with a friend. And of course, he comes back saying how great of a show it was. So when we got axed, and especially with Crackdown, we were more than excited to go. But the only thing I really remember was that fucked up car. Whatever.
Blend Ahead Brian says, is it true that a member from Maximum Penalty went on to play in On the Rise?
I don't really recall that.
All right. Okay, here we go. Now we're getting it. Rob Stephan, where were some of the roughest shows you ever played at, Joe?
Well, Animal Hall was pretty rough, but there was this one place in Europe that we played with AF. It was like kind of a youth hostel.
Is that Coney Island in Leipzig?
No, that was another fucking unbelievable. That was a great show.
Those shows are always great in that place.
Have you ever been there?
Come on, bro. I've been there many times.
Dude,
yeah.
Great place.
How would I know? It's a great. That's the place they throw the kid when they start playing. They throw the confetti. The right when the first band. No, that place. It's always on.
Treated us like gold. Made a lot of friends there. No, this was, I think, somewhere in Belgium. I can't remember the venue, but we slept upstairs with the piss stain mattresses, and the show was downstairs, and there was no locks on the doors, and a couple of there was no doors on some doorways, and I'm like, that was probably one of the roughest ones.
Yeah, that sounds tough.
Hardcore, baby.
Our good friend Ryan Bland from Ake says, my old band Home 33 did a split 7-inch with Maximum Penalty on Gypsy Records. Thanks to Maximum Penalty for always looking out for me back in the day. Much love and respect.
I love Ryan. Know Ryan for years and years. Yeah, we did a split. Gypsy Records did a run of 7 inches called The Caravan. and it was Pry was on it, Sweet Diesel, us,
Oh, I love Sweet Diesel.
Home 33. It was a real eclectic group of bands that they put together this collection of 7 inches. That was a fun time too, man. That was really good.
Cool. What else? Oh, here, Larry the Hunter from Kings Never Die says the Lint Fabric in Belgium. I think
that sounds familiar, Larry. You know what? I block it out of my mind. It's the stuff of nightmares, bro.
I'm still traumatized from it. Your daughter's traumatized from it, and she was born just because you handed it down in the genes. Oh boy. Hey, Rat Bones, are you out there? Guess not. Where's Rat Bones? Rat Bones wanted to say hi. Oh, there he is. Hey.
What's up?
What's up? What's up, kiddo?
Yeah, man, it's great hearing you, man. It's great seeing you today, bro.
Yeah, man. What's up?
Way back.
Yeah, man. Jersey, kid.
I mean, we also have the, Saab was your neighbor and friend, but I got a big connection through hardcore with Saab too, because Eddie Ramos introduced me to Saab at Bleecker Bob's Records. Saab was trying to buy some rings. So really, Saab okayed me in. We back then you had to get okayed in. You couldn't almost just hang around. If nobody knew you, you'd get up, Yeah. So yeah, Saab had my back, and we're also share the same birthday, me and Saab, September 18th.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I could see that being a thing. If I remember, yeah.
I mean, we're totally connected. I grew up on the shore with Jimmy Williams. It's just
absolutely.
Family, man.
I miss Eddie, bro.
Yeah, we remember when things were real nitty gritty.
Yeah, man. Eddie Boppo, rest in peace.
Yeah, man.
Eddie Boppo passed away very young.
Yes, he did.
Yep. What kind of hat is that, Rat Bones?
I'm throwing it back to the 90s like you guys were talking about with my new era joint. A 59 joint. Remember these? The first fitted, son.
Yep. All right. You want to shout anybody out, Rat Bones?
I don't. But, you know what? It was so cool today because I know it's not a real record of the day. It's not a real collectible. But when I used to shop records, we were talking about Picture of the Day before. I always shop records. I'm in the flea markets. I'm digging through the crates. And one of my, I had a goal, a gem record I always wanted to find. And I was always looking for Armored Saint, March of the Saint.
Oh.
And one morning I found and not only did I find one, I got 2 Armored Saints, man, on vinyl. And we were talking about Priest, and I got this one today too from 1986.
Holy
$5 I paid.
Wow, I've never even seen that.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Cool. It's 86, so it's got love bites on it,
Oh wow.
Got Striker on it.
All right.
Soldiers Command. So yeah, man. Good show today, man. It was all clicking,
I gotta say, it really, I feel good about it today. It's just flowing. Are you ready for your outro?
Hit it up.
Great lyrics.
It's a hit. I love it. It's a hit. Oh, listen, let's see what else do we have here. Joseph Moran says he lost his virginity to that record, the Armored Saint record.
Oof.
All right. Okay, here's an interesting one. Here's something a little bit. Oh, you know what? It is time for our resident historian, Chucky Brown. It is time for our Chucky Brown question of the day.
What up, Chuck?
Okay, Chucky Brown says, Joe, he went to Chiller Theater Convention and he took his wife to see and meet the cast of Ghost Hunters. Can he speak on that?
Did I brought my wife to see the cast?
Is that what he's talking about? What are you talking about, Chucky? Not Joe?
I was at Chiller Theater. I love that thing. my 70s inner child can't resist going
Yeah, I
to those
love it,
things.
man. Maybe I got it. Maybe I got it wrong. How did Joe? Here's another one. How did Joe perceive the Roadrunner Brooklyn bands, Biohazard, Typo Negative, Life of Agony, blowing up in the early '90s?
You know, I mean, that was at first it was just something that I couldn't really identify with because I was just really kind of attached to, you know, the Manhattan movement. You know, Typo, I can say because of Pete and the time that he spent and cultivated in Brooklyn. I could, not that I was a big Typo fan, I really wasn't. But you know, the Bio and Life Agony movement, it was off my radar. It still is. I mean, you know, listen, as the years went on and how hard these guys worked, I mean, I give any respect to the hardworking people in bands. But in terms of taste, and I mean, I had already heard the Cro-Mags and Agnostic Front and Sick of It All. So it was really a hard sell for me to kind of, you know, really go that way. I mean, that's me being nice about it.
Hey, I like it. I like different opinions. Okay, Chucky Brown is back. Jimmy, Maximum Penalty vocalist, had a '79 Chevy van. Joe and Jimmy would drive around in it, blasting Bad Brains and Public Enemy.
Yes, he would.
Stealing spare tire covers off other cars in the street. Can you speak on that?
Yes, this is a true story. So, Jimmy would bring the van up to Music and Art to pick me and Brian up, and we would pretty much, you know, drive around Manhattan and wreak havoc after school. And one of the funniest stories was at the time, I think GMC had like this their first little SUV, and it was called the Jimmy. And
sure, I remember that.
You know, and then the back, the spare tires had their like a custom vinyl cover that said Jimmy on it. So here we are down in the Village in this guy's van, and we are bumper to bumper in traffic, and Jimmy's like, "Joe, take the wheel." And I'm like, okay, I have no idea. This is, you know, you're young, you're crazy.
Yep.
And here comes Jimmy, like right up to the guy, and the red light is forever. So he's got ample amount of time to get this thing off, and removed it and then just put it on his Chevy van. And it was, I mean, at the time we were hysterical. It was just one of those stories.
That's awesome. I like this one. Let's do this. Joe, can we talk about gear? You got some sick Les Pauls and Marshalls. Can you show us some of your arsenal? Let's talk a little bit about gear for a second. I've always sort of had you pegged as a Les Paul guy. Is that fair to say? Or a Gibson guy?
Yeah, for the most part, you know, like anything else, you dabble everywhere. But my go-to is a Les Paul. Yeah.
Is that behind you? Is that the gold top behind you?
I don't have a gold top.
No, I don't know what do you call that? The not gold top with like the
this
sunburst.
Sunburst. This I got the white custom, the Randy Rhodes here, which is fucking gorgeous. This is my fucking animal of choice right here. And I can't believe I'm doing this. And then here's this. My wife actually bought me this guy. This is a nice Honeyburst.
Honeyburst. That's
this is a nice Honeyburst reissue.
Is that different than a Sunburst?
Yeah. But this is the go-to workhorse right here. 1980 kids. You ain't getting this in the store. It's a standard, and it's been on many records, and it's a fucking beast. This is I probably have too many guitars. I probably can't announce how many guitars I have because my wife will find out. But yeah, I'm if I had a vice, it would be gear. You know, anything 80s, you know, Marshall, JCM, JMP. I love it all, man.
What's the framed Village Voice show clipping on the wall behind you?
Oh, this guy right here?
Yeah, what is that?
That is the first show we ever did with AF, the live recording out of the Village.
Cool, man.
The guitar player the other guitar player, Brian Gosha, his mom actually at the time printed them all up for us, and
Oh, that's nice.
I've always had that, and I'll never. I mean, I may be even buried with that thing. I love it. I'm proud of it. You know, it's just one of those things I had to put in a frame.
What pickups are in the black standard?
Right now, EMGs. I actually I pulled out the burst bucker and went EMG just for some MP stuff, but I don't know. Thinking about going back.
Are the Marshalls hot rodded?
The JMP is voiced a little differently. Yes, it's got an effects loop, and you know, it runs a little hotter.
There you go. Let's talk a little bit about this is the latest maximum penalty lineup.
Actually, no.
But
This is us in Europe with Darren and Busky and Ray. Great lineup, killer tour. But this was probably one of the last ones that people are most, you know, that they know us most about. After this, Darren had moved to Key West. Love you, D. And Eric RC came in and filled in for a little bit.
That was a stupid question because I knew that.
No, I love getting the information out. You know.
Yeah, for sure. People asking, is there new maximum penalty material in the pipeline?
It absolutely is. It's been in the pipeline for a while, but
let's hear about that.
You know, we demoed a lot of songs right before Eric kind of came aboard. And then we demoed more songs when Eric came on, and we just never got into a studio. But then Eric wound up, you know, relocating, and then COVID. And it's just, you know, we're sitting on another 8 songs right now that I think as soon as when, you know, we figure out what's going on in the world, and we move toward another drummer. Right now, we are in between drummers. You know, there will definitely be another maximum penalty release. I'm not 100% sure on a full length, but you know, as time goes on, that may be a possibility. But yeah, there's definitely, before anything else happens, we are definitely going to be releasing another EP.
Cool. I know you guys play this